Thank you for tuning into Alabaster's Box with Tiffany Hayes, where we are enriching and inspiring thoughts. Today we have Gwendolyn Hammond, co-pastor of 13th Disciple of Christ Church, aka Lady G. She has joined us today to talk about her business, Ties That Bind. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. I wanted you to come on the show today so that you can speak to our viewers who are entrepreneurs, who are ministers, but also has that business side that want to or inspire to go out and work for themselves, be a part of something bigger than they are, and just walk in their calling. So I wanted you to share, when did Ties That Bind open? When did you open those doors?
Well, officially Ties That Bind opened in March 2013, but actually it has been it was developed much earlier than that. Ties That Bind is part of Ties That Bind is my ministry to sew and create things with my hands. Mm-hmm. But Ties That Bind is actually something much bigger than that. God has given me us a ministry that is about allowing people to look good on the inside, but also making sure we minister to the inside, mm-hmm. so that the outside will display what the inside is going mm-hmm. on the inside. So we are operating in some parts of the ministry, but as far as feeding people, as far as housing people, as far as just meeting the whole family, because mm-hmm. we believe that the family matters. But right now, what I'm operating in is the sewing part, mm-hmm. which is Lady G. Mm-hmm. Lady
Okay.
G Designs.
Okay. All right. So you said that you're working in one aspect of the ministry now. So you're saying that someone can have a business but have it as a ministry as well.
Yes.
And it should be one and the same.
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you been sewing?
I've been sewing since 1985.
Oh, okay.
Once I graduated from high school.
Okay.
Yes. And I didn't even know I liked sewing. Mm-hmm. I never thought about it. I didn't want to get out of school early, so I decided to take an elective. Mm-hmm. And I just took a sewing class. Mm-hmm. And from then on, I've been sewing ever since.
So it just comes natural?
It just comes natural.
So would it be safe to say what comes natural to you? It's probably your calling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most likely. Because it's something you don't have to work at.
Absolutely. It just flows out of you.
Yes.
So was it easy for you to accept that calling? Did you enjoy it to the point of so what I'm asking is, some people have a calling that is like, I don't really like that. I'm gonna try to do something else. So was that you, or did you just embrace it and say, I'm going to move forward in this, and this is going to be my business?
I put it this way: I accepted the sewing part of
mm-hmm.
it. I always loved to sew. It didn't matter what it was. I just wanted to create something, and but the part that I struggled with was going out public, mm-hmm. having the confidence to step out and say, I will make a business of it. Mm-hmm. So that was my thing. But once I gathered the confidence and knew that this was something that was of God and it wasn't just me, mm-hmm. then I could step out on it.
Mm-hmm. So did you have any struggles or challenges while you were starting the business, or even as your business has grown from that point?
I would say, like I said, my first struggle was the confidence, but once I got that, I moved on. But then knowing how to network and mm-hmm. communicate with other people. And one thing that I did in 2014 was to join a launch program mm-hmm. at Old Dominion University. Mm-hmm. And they helped us and encouraged us and showed us how to actually start the business legally. Mm-hmm. So mm-hmm. many times we just do things out of our home, mm-hmm. but they showed me I knew how to go get the license. I already had the license, how to make it an LLC, mm-hmm. how to network and talk to different ones and get things moving, mm-hmm. Even the more. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that I do, because I believe even though God gives us a gift, we have to perfect that gift.
Absolutely.
We have to work on that gift and develop it. So that gave me the knowledge on how to move about and how to go with the social media and different things, and getting with people to mm-hmm. be able to branch out, because you can't be an island to yourself, because it'll never prosper.
Right. So one thing that you said is that once you gained that confidence, how did you gain that confidence?
once I took the weight off of me and realized that I didn't create the gift, that the gift came from God, that I just he had to show me that it was in there for it to come out. And, you know, because when I think back, I could have chose any class to take, but some reason I chose that one. And that's what awakened it, that gift. So once I took it off of me, then He's let me know that He's the one who's going to help me develop it. Because so many times when sewing, a lot of times we go with patterns. And sometimes He pulls me away. I've never had a customer that wants just what the pattern has. They always want to combine things. So it's like trusting God to show me how to put it all together. Because other than that class, I've never had another class.
So what I hear is, even after you've taken the classes to assist with launching the business and what you do need to do once you have the business, you still are trusting in the Lord with the business.
Yes.
And the weight comes when we take on things ourselves.
Right.
And we think that we have to make things happen ourselves instead of giving it to the Lord and allowing Him to just illuminate the gift that He's already given you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because I believe we have to do our part. And I always think I have 3 P's. I prepare, I have I project what my projections are, and then what's my purpose. And it may sound funny or whatever, but even when I see fabric, I see what it's supposed to be. I see a piece of fabric, I say, oh, that should be a scarf. Or I see this, and that should be a blouse. So it's not just me, it's what He has put in me to tell me, show me this is what I'm supposed to create. So many times we want to create what we want to create. I have actually had a piece of material that's supposed to be a scarf, but I made it something else. And it was like, why did you do that? Because that's not what it's supposed to be. We have to do, I believe even in everything that we do, we have to do it God's way.
Right.
And that's what I try to do. When I do that, I pray. It may sound a little bit cliche or whatever, but I pray over everything and just ask God to lead me how to do it. And when I get in a hard place, give me some kind of shortcut. Show me how to do this, how to make it work. Because basically, I'm self-taught. With God teaching me, but you know what I mean. I haven't taken a professional class on sewing.
Okay, so because it comes so natural, then it's like, okay, God, you just show me how to do this, and I'm gonna just walk with it.
Yes.
So what would you tell those aspiring entrepreneurs today, as far as them having a desire on their heart or a call upon their life, because we all do, just to take that leap of faith? Just what would you tell them?
I would tell them, my first thing is to know. You first have to know that that's what God wants you to do. Because sometimes people want to become an entrepreneur just to become rich. If that's what God wants you, then that's what God wants you. But make sure whatever you strive to do is what God has planned for you to do. And then you seek out how to go about it. But my thing is, one thing I learned from the launch program is, one, you can't think that you're the only one. You're not out there alone. You got to talk to people. You got to see, be able to, like I said, network. You got to go out there and just begin to communicate with people, not just people like you, but people that been in there for a while. Talk to them, get a mentor, or just to build yourself up. So then you will feel, the more you know, the better you feel about what you got to do. So I think it's just preparing yourself, going out there, reading, and just seeking out what it is that you need to do. Because I just believe you're supposed to perfect your gift.
Absolutely.
So I would just say, one thing, just stick to it. Don't quit. If you know that's what you're supposed to do, then keep pushing. Some days you have low days, but then you still got to keep working through it. Have your moment and keep on moving. As my husband always tells it, have your moment and keep on moving, But I would just say, don't give up. It don't matter. I've been sewing, like I said, from 1985. I have not had the business that long, but what inspired me also was my mother. My mother pushed me. My mother made me make curtains for her house. She made me, and I didn't even want to do it. I didn't want her to tell nobody, but she would tell people, my daughter sews, and I'm like, don't do that, don't do that. But because I didn't have the confidence, but I think sometimes you got to step out your comfort zone in order to reach where you're supposed to be.
Now, you said other people doing what you're doing. How do you handle the competition?
I put it this way, I don't look at it as competition. Because what I do, you can't do. It's unique to me. There's plenty of designers out there. But the thing about it, if you look at shirts, that shirt may have Ralph Lauren name on it. You have somebody else's shirt, and it's the same exact shirt, and it has Donna Karen up there. But the thing is, it's unique to them.
Right.
Whether you see it or not, it may be the threading, it may be the name tag, whatever it is unique to them. So I don't really look at it as competition per se, because I believe what's mine is mine, and I just got to do what I'm supposed to do, and it's going to prosper at the level it's supposed to prosper at. So I may not be a Calvin Klein, but I'm a Lady G design, and I'm going to make it exactly for you, whereas Calvin Klein is going to make it for this size, 5, 7, 8, and you pick it out. If it fit, it fit. If it don't, it don't. Whereas me, I specialize. I'm gonna make it to fit just you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that. I like that. Make it to fit just you. And just reminds me of how the Lord just makes things to fit just you.
For you.
Yeah, just for you, and how you are to flourish in that. And it fits you perfectly.
Yes.
And so I asked you the question about the competition because I know that sometimes when people look at what other people are doing and they're doing what appears to be the same thing, that gets them off of the road that they're supposed to be on because they don't feel as equipped, or they feel that they may not measure up to that other person. So what I'm hearing is, don't look at what they're doing.
No.
Just know that what's for you is for you, and that it fits perfectly for you.
Yes.
Right? Okay. All right. So another thing with Ties That Bind, you said that you are sewing, the sewing pieces, it's really being pushed right now, but there are other areas. Tell us a little bit more about what other areas we can look forward to.
Well, when God gave me this vision of this, I have it written down and everything. It just, to me, Ties That Bind was the umbrella, like an umbrella. If you look at like the NFL, you have the NFL, but you have all these different teams. Well, under Ties That Bind, there was a part where we're feeding people. There's a part where we're housing people. There's a part where we're clothing people, and different things of that nature, and charities and different things. And I just see this conglomerate of a business, you know, and I don't know how it's going to all come about, but it's all laid out, and it came from him, so I know it will come about. So right now, in a small version, we are feeding people, and we are housing people, and we are clothing people. I don't always sell everything, but sometimes I give things away, you know. So it just depends. So it's active, but it's in a smaller scale, where I know in one day it's gonna be as large as he has already shown me it will be.
Okay, so I like the fact that you didn't stop with, or you didn't shut the Holy Spirit down when he said Ties That Bind sewing.
Yes.
You looked at it, okay, what else do you want me to do with this?
Yes.
And I think many times with gifts that the Lord has given us, it doesn't stop with, oh, I like to encourage people, so this is all I'm going to do.
Right.
And I find it interesting that some people with one idea can just blow up because they took that one idea and they maximized it.
Yes.
And I just hear just maximize living. You're maximizing the one thing that the Lord has given you, has blew up because you allowed yourself to be open to him and just allow yourself to be guided by what he's telling you to do with it. So do you think that's the same with everyone?
I believe so. I believe so. I believe we can't be narrow-minded. We have to be open. I believe that we may see one thing, but God sees it in the full picture, and even though we may not see how our gift affects so many people, but we have to know that it does.
Absolutely.
You know, even like I said with Ties That Bind is just pulling things together and showing you how the whole family, because we don't want to just minister one part of the family, the person. I don't want to just minister to women. I don't want to just minister to children or just youth, but we are interested in the whole family, bringing them all together and unifying the family as one. So even with the sewing piece, I look at it as we want to clothe and cover the outward, but the inward, if the inward isn't intact, It doesn't matter what you wear, because so many times our clothing dictate how we feel. If I don't feel too good, most likely I'm gonna dress down. I'm gonna look slummy. But if I'm on top, on my game, I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna dress the way I feel. I want to have that energy and that extra enthusiasm or whatever. So it displays how we feel. So that's why I said it's all about. It starts on the inside and works on the outside. Comes on the outside.
So when you received the umbrella of Ties That Bind, where were you? I guess, in your spiritual walk, was it easy for you to hear the Lord said, "This is what I want you to name your company," or were you trying to figure out the name?
No, I didn't try to figure it out. He just gave it to me. It just came, and I wrote it down. There was a time when I thought it was just sewing, because I looked up at Ties That Bind. I'm thinking of the threads, the sewing things together, and things of that nature. So that's how I looked at it. But he quickly corrected me that no, that's not, that's all the total package. It's more to it.
Yes, yes. And the reason I asked you that question is because I know as an entrepreneur myself, sometimes I try to put things together myself. But even with Alabaster's Box, someone asked me, well, what do you want to name this? And I told her, let me call you back. I don't know. And as soon as I hung up the phone, the Lord said Alabaster's Box. And so all we have to do is just wait.
Yes.
Not try to come up with things ourselves, but just wait, because just like Ties That Bind, the Lord will knit everything together the way that it's supposed to be.
Yes.
So could you just take this moment, just the next couple of moments, just to encourage that person who has that entrepreneur spirit, who is ready to go out, but they may go out with what is it, zealously?
Yes.
Without having that sober mind, because I know in business you have to be sober. You have to think things out, and you have to plan things out so that it can succeed.
Yes.
Instead of us going off, oh, I have a great idea, let me just go ahead and do it.
Right.
And it starts crashing before we even really get it off the ground.
Exactly. So many businesses, fail because they don't prepare. One thing I've learned, that when you get this idea, yes, be excited, be enthusiastic, go out and do what you're supposed to do. But also don't just go with the dream or the vision, plan it all out. Think about it. How am I going to go about it? We always have to count up the costs. We got to see day by day, how am I going to fund this thing? Now, do I have savings? Do I have some family members that are willing to invest in me, or what it takes? Don't get discouraged when there's no one there that wants to invest, or no one there to encourage you. Pick up yourself and say, I know this is what I'm supposed to do. Let me go day by day. If I have to go to the library and read a book and figure out how to go about it. If I have to go, and there's a program that's in Norfolk, it's called Mentors. Wherever you are, I don't care what state or city it is, I'm sure they have some type of small business administration that will help you out. And they're there just to help you, be willing to help you. So many times we can't get help because we aren't willing to step out of our own comfort zone in our box to go forth and do what we need to do. We want to figure it out ourselves. We want to be independent, but God didn't create us to be independent. We are to be dependent on Him and one another. So once we can get out of that, then we can go forth. So I would say, keep the zeal, go out, talk to people, mingle with people, and even do surveys. Go out and say, if it's your business, whatever it is, if it's marketing or sewing or whatever it is, go out and see what the people want. Go talk to people and do some type of survey and see what you come up with. And then that will help solve the problem right there. You'll know what people need and what they desire. So then, like I said, don't be scared to network. Don't be scared to go even with people that you want to consider as your competition. A lot of times your competition is there to want to help you just as much because somebody was there for them and helped them to get where they had to go. So I would just encourage you, just step out your box and just go for it. Give it all, 100%, give it all out. And then you can know that you did your best to obtain what you're supposed to get, that God has already put inside of you, and to go forth. That's all I can say is go forth and let the Lord lead you in what you want to do. Even if you're not even saved, if you don't know the Lord, even common business sense says go out there and talk to the people. Go out there and just find someone that can mentor you and help you reach your goal.
Thank you. I'm feeling encouraged myself. So, so I hope you guys are feeling the same thing. And thank you so much, Lady G, for just coming up on the show today. We really enjoyed you, appreciated you, and just thank you for enriching and inspiring our viewers and us. The cameraman is very inspired as well. He's shaking his head. So thank you guys for tuning into Alabaster's Box, where we are enriching and inspiring thoughts.
Hi, I just want to tell Tiffany at Alabaster Box, thank you for inviting me into the show. I count it a great honor to be a part of this Alabaster Box, and I'm just excited for what you all are doing, and I encourage you to keep pushing, keep moving, and keep just inspiring people, because that's what we all need on this day and time. So many times we don't have that encouraging word or someone to push us. And so I just want to thank her for pushing me and is getting me out of my comfort zone and just come out and just share. And I always say, if I could tell my story to one person, if it'll make a difference, I'll do that. And I thank her for this opportunity, and I just bless God for her, and I just ask her to keep on moving forward.
Hey everyone, I hope you guys are enjoying what you are hearing thus far. Please tell your friends about us, tell your church members and your family members. Let's take this word to the world. Please share, subscribe, and like. And remember, if you change your thoughts, you change your life. Thank you.